Hello, Imperium, я продолжаю проходить ELEX. Мне бы эту заправку найти, где эти альбы были. Вот где-то тут она, вот, а где вот тут фиг ее знает. Хватит грызть. Какая кошатинка. Так.
Stop being an asshole.
I've heard that before.
That.
No logic.
About the threat of you being thrown out of the city. What is the problem with Caleb and Jorg?
Jorg is a berserker. He's accused us of spying for the Albs in Zakor. He claims he saw us handing over information about the shield generators. It's completely illogical. We are the ones with the most to lose if Zakor captures this city. But the free people are prisoners to emotion. It makes them doubt logic. They have already thrown one of our group out of the city. Now they are threatening the rest of us with the same fate. We are no friends of the Albs in Zakor. They would see us dead. We want this to be our home now. We need the free people to understand this.
I will help you.
Good. That is the response I wanted. It is best if you go straight to Jorg. Caleb is already attempting further arguments to ensure our expulsion. But it is Jorg's statement that has put us in danger. That lie underpins Caleb's argument against us. If people believe we are working with the enemy, we will be exiled from the city and left to die. But if Jorg confesses his lie, then Caleb would no longer have the proof he claims. They would have no reason to expel us.
Wow, that's very cool time, wasn't it?
That makes it real.
Yes, you can't say that. But food first.
Stop being an asshole.
You're a berserker. Is Adan trying to conquer Abessa?
I don't answer to Adan. And these people belong to no faction. They belong only to themselves. I stand as their protector against anyone who would force them to do otherwise. My only connection to Adan is my magic. I wish it was more, but wishes don't make things so.
Have you been exiled from Goliath?
Exiled? No. There are those in Adan who want to use my magic for their own purposes. Ever since my power started to grow, they changed me. Their mana changed me, and that change just won't stop. I'm becoming stronger and stronger. It is terrifying.
If that's true, why don't you use your power?
I do, I have. But sometimes it overwhelms me. That's why I fight alone. If I lose control of a spell, there's a chance I could kill anyone and everyone around me. The warlords wanted to test me. Try my powers, to harness them. Now I need to find a solution myself. But to do that, I need to study the properties of ELEX, to learn more about it.
Are you always so edgy?
You know you wouldn't need to diffuse things if you didn't get people wound up in the first place. Damn, this is like being back in Goliath all over again.
What brought you out here?
This is a place away from the war. A place people could make up their minds without being pressured to join one of the factions. If the people here wanted to join a faction, they would have. But some people aren't ready for that. Or they've been cast out. They have to go somewhere.
So there's no faction in charge here?
Well, the clerics keep order, but it's not like the Horde where entry means you have to join them. Here you can forget about factions.
I could use someone like you.
Use? There's a word I've heard too much. Well, count me out. I'm not interested in being used.
I could help you.
What do you know of what I need? What do you know of how to help me? ELEX marks people. Mana, chems, exposure from food tainted by it. It stays with people. You have its mark on you. You're different somehow. What is it about you?
I took ELEX in the past. Is that what you're seeing? Or is there something else?
Took it? You were fed it. You were an Alb soldier. Well, it seems we have something in common. We've both been fed ELEX in one form or another. It's changed us. And neither of us know what that means we are now.
What do you think? My offer still stands.
And what exactly is it that you're planning?
I am going to end this war by taking the fight to the Elexitors. And I'm trying to put together a group skilled enough to win that fight.
And you think I'll take part in this?
In return, I will help your quest to find the ELEX you're searching for. Then you can improve your magical abilities. You said yourself, the longer you are here, the more you fear your powers will overwhelm you. The longer you stay here, the more danger you put these people in. If you really want to protect them, you need to leave.
Even if that's true, why should I leave with you?
I was an elf. I know ELEX and I know magic. I know the impulses that follow you even during sleep. I know the nightmares and the problems of trying to control power that really wants to control you. And I know what it's like when all that is taken from you. We can help each other.
And it's not like I have other options. Not in the long term. You're right. I'm hiding from it here. I need to get out there and find a real solution. I'll wait by the main gate, and we'll see if your actions can match your words. You should stock up here before we go.
I will meet you by the gate.
Just don't keep me waiting, or you might find I change my mind.
That was well done.
Well, well.
Fuck all of them. I hope they drown in their own shit.
Why are you torturing yourself over that?
Are you here to pay me those shards you owe me? Because I'm pissed at how long you're taking to pay.
I wonder if he was serious about that.
Kept you.
I'm here now.
So you are. And are you planning on telling me where you've set up camp or what comes next? Or do I have to wait for that too?
Okay. I'll tell you what's happened so far.
You've done a lot, but you still have got a lot of work ahead of you. Or we have.
And we're not going to get where we need to without a jetpack.
Don't worry, I know how to use one of those. I'll keep up with you. Now can we talk about my problem? There's just one more thing.
Yes?
Why did you choose to join the clerics?
To begin with, it seemed like the best way to survive.
But that isn't everything.
My own people tried to kill me. I want to find answers, and joining a faction has to help me find them.
I hope you're not just doing this for your own personal reasons.
You said you wanted to study the properties of ELEX. How will you do that?
I can feel the presence of ELEX. Mostly where it's present in great quantities.
Like the converter?
You don't need any special powers to feel the ELEX there. No, I'm talking about unrefined ELEX. When it's raw, latent. I can learn more from it when it hasn't been altered. I want to explore Magalan and look for some large deposits of unrefined ELEX.
Deposits? I thought ELEX arrived with the comet.
You're right. Part of its power is that it isn't from here. I want to discover how it is spread across Magalan. But when it is processed by the Alps, the ELEX changes. It becomes polarized. The transmuted form that the Berserkers get from their mana shrine changes it in similar ways. That keeps some of its power, but it's the ELEX that came with the comet that I want to learn more about. I feel that there are secrets to learn about it. To understand those secrets, I need it untouched, pure ELEX.
How do you want to find these large ELEX deposits?
When the comet impact spread ELEX across Magalan, it found its way everywhere. Into the seas, the rock, the air we breathe. But it is collected and concentrated in some places. I have felt the vibrations, the presence of these deposits. I want to track them down and examine them.
You should follow me.
Okay.
How are you?
I'm okay. You worry me. I feel like I'm talking to a machine. You must learn to embrace emotion. You can use it to make you stronger. Learn that, or I feel we will have to part ways.
Where can you find this unrefined ELEX?
The first deposit I'd like to investigate is north of the city of Abessa. I can show you.
If it's so close, why hasn't anyone else found it?
I don't know. Maybe because nobody can feel ELEX like I can.
Your senses are better than ALB technology?
Come with me and find out.
All right, show me the way.
It's not far from the city. Follow me.
Спутница Мак, офигенно. Псайкер Мак, прикольненько. Так.
There's a vast amount of ELEX flowing into the sea. It washes out of the cliffs and the ground, and it flows out across the planet. ELEX is everywhere.
But you still think we need to find concentrations of it?
Yes, from the moment the comet struck, ELEX has been seeping into everything on Magellan. That makes the background noise from it hard to read. If I'm to learn more, we must follow those mutants to find where the ELEX is coming from. We know where we have to go. I'll follow you this time. I am better at sensing ELEX than any person I know, but there are mutants with the same ability. You should be careful in case the ELEX deposit has attracted them.
Косарь остался. Да, надо, пожалуй, потратить часок. Это была глупая затея. Этот мужик почти чуть в пропасть не упал.
deposit must be here. I can feel the ELEX in the ground.
And so what do we do now?
I must meditate. Wait over there. I need space away from you. That was... That was what I was afraid of.
That doesn't sound good.
It's something I've suspected. It's why I came. It's the reason you're going to think I'm crazy. I could feel the ELEX was communicating with me. Like it has a purpose. That it wants something from me, from the people on this planet.
ELEX speaks to you?
I know how crazy that sounds, but it's true.
But it's a mineral. How can it want something? How can it speak to you?
That's one of the reasons I had to leave Goliath. It was like the ELEX was screaming to me. I thought it was because of the mana they were giving me, but now I know it's something different.
So, you want to continue?
You said you would help me. That was our deal. Are you still up for this? Now you know how crazy my idea is?
Let's assume I believe you. What exactly do you think you heard?
I'm not sure. It wasn't words. More a sense of desire, of purpose. But it was fleeting, hard to catch. I think I need to find a bigger deposit of ELEX. That might help me hear it more clearly.
Okay. What happens now?
We go ELEX hunting. But first I need to return... home. I have to go to Edan, to one of our world hearts. The one south of the observatory, in the middle of Edan. Now I've heard it, sensed it here, I want to know if this is what I heard when I was close to large amounts of mana in Edan.
You said you felt something back then. Why would it be different now?
Because I need to be sure. I need to know I wasn't going crazy. Can't you see how important this could be? What this would mean for everyone?
You go. I'll meet you there when I can.
Right. See you in Edan.
Куда? Куда? Твою мать-то, а? Ушла. Почему ты с ней не пошел, дурень? Так. Твою мать-то, где он теперь? Так. Я сказать, трол собираю, я им пользуюсь.
Hey, there you are.
Are you okay? You look...
Yeah, I know. I feel terrible. That encounter with the ELEX in Abessa really took it out of me. It's like it looked inside of me. I feel cold from the inside.
cold. That sounds like ELEX.
You remember it, right? From when you took it. I got similar feelings when I took mana. I can't imagine what it did to you before being transmuted. I need some now. I need to get some mana.
Гимла, курочка. Котеечка маленькая.
About the side effects of ELEX.
Yeah?
Don't worry about it.
Wait,
I thought you wanted to go to a world hard.
I do. Now that you're here, we could go together.
About the...
Yeah?
Here, I have some mana for you.
Thank you. I need it to balance the ELEX I'm sensing. Without it, I'm worried I'll lose myself to it. I have to understand what it wants, what the ELEX's purpose is.
Then let's go.
All right.
Let's go.
Something is wrong here. There should be guards to look after the World Heart.
Doesn't look like anyone's home.
Then we should be ready for a fight. Something has killed the guards here. Maybe it was mutants. They're attracted to mana as well as ELEX. That was great.
Тут больше 5 спутников. Святой император. Что там за тварь бродит? А, так они меня атакуют. Убьем сначала.
Keep close. Fight together. Be careful. A World Heart. I hope that one day we find these across all of Magalan. It's terrible. Not a soul here. Just death. I have to go on. Can you give me some space again? I need peace and quiet for meditation.
Не понимаю, какой смысл уничтожать сердца мира? Почему изгои такие тупые?
What can you sense?
It's incredible. I can hear something here. Clearer than before.
What can you hear?
The ELEX. It's alive. It doesn't matter whether it's been changed, processed, transmuted, it doesn't matter. It retains the same voice. It might change the way ELEX behaves, but it remains linked together somehow.
So, what does that mean?
That all its forms must be related and that it can revert. It can return to its unrefined form.
Mana can become pure ELEX?
It's conceivable, but nobody knows how to do it. Not even the Albs.
Are you any closer to understanding what this means?
Closer, yes, but I need to know more to understand it. The fact ELEX is alive, that it has a collective consciousness is one thing, but we need to know what it wants. I want to know if we're changing it, or it's changing us.
Hey, what? How can it be changing us?
You of all people ask me that? You know the effect it had on you as an Alb. You've seen what it's done to Magalan's animal life. We need to find some more ELEX deposits. Some that have been brought back up from when the comet first hit. Let's go. I'll tell you if I sense any.
About the side effects of ELEX.
Yeah?
Here, I have some mana for you.
Thank you.
Так, листочек. Куда мне в этот раз идти?
How are you?
I'm doing all right. Entering Zakor will be a terrible risk. We'll have to prepare ourselves well.
What's happening in the city?
Well, the domed city is a refuge for all. Outlaws, berserker, clerics, anyone who wants to be somewhere other than their homeland. Being away from home, you'd think they'd care less about what faction they were from. But for some reason, some of them have got even more fanatical. That makes keeping order difficult sometimes. The outlaws are the worst. They don't understand rules or sharing, or in some cases, that people have a right to stay alive.
You don't seem to like outlaws.
All people are welcome here. The Dome City is a refuge for all. But that means all, not just outlaws. There's a half-dozen outlaws hanging around outside the city at the old farm now. They just want to get in to cause trouble. I mean, we got everyone settled down and living together, and those outlaws, I just wish they'd disappear.
You want the outlaws in the farm to die?
Whoa, whoa, that's not what I said. I just want them to stop causing trouble for good.
About the...
You mean the threat on our doorstep? The canker in our midst? They who should disappear?
Where are these outlaws?
They've gathered east of here at an old farm, not far from the city walls. You can't miss them.
If the price is right, I will take care of the outlaws.
I would have hoped the cleric would do this from a sense of duty, but if you will get rid of them, I will pay. I will have your reward ready when you come back. Oh, it'll be such a relief to know they're gone. But you need to prove you did it by bringing me their heads.
You want their heads?
By Kalan, what? No, no. What am I supposed to do with their heads? No, I didn't. Just make sure that the outlaws disappear. And don't trade with them, or you can forget your reward. And no heads. Don't bring me any heads.
Ну, убивать я их не стану, хотя фиг его знает, может и убью. Так. Купольный город. Что? Ой. Твою мать, да. Так это... А, вот он. Я думал, как защита делась. Так. Где эти изгои, интересненько. А, вот что здесь такое. Так. Так они не такие уж
the gift and treasures of travel, for it brings new encounters. So what are you? Merchant? Bounty hunter? Or a nobody, like most people out there?
I was an alb once.
And you go around admitting that? And you're still alive? How'd you manage that?
Let's just say it's complicated.
Yeah, I can imagine. You anything to do with these separatists? Why are there so many of you guys coming to the Dome City?
Maybe they have the same reason you do.
Yeah, probably not. I doubt the Duke sent him here. But as far as I see it, the way we are now, we should get along wonderfully with each other. I mean, otherwise, you wouldn't have even spoken to me, right?
How do people live here?
Here, smoke one with me, before you start bombarding me with questions, yeah? I have the best stuff here.
What do you have to offer?
Troll dung, rat scab, it's all first-class stuff. Snort it, smoke it, either way. You'll never forget the experience.
Forget it.
Well, that's your choice. From time to time, you need to open a door in your head and look inside, right? But if you won't, then all the more for me. That done, let's get into the real business.
Business? With me?
You see someone else here? Real business. A proper opportunity. You see, the clerics have had this city under their control for years. And the Duke thinks they're planning to take control everywhere, sooner or later. And he thinks the Dome City could be the starting point for their military campaign. So, my job is to find out if he's right. If there is something brewing that could be dangerous for us in Tavar.
What information have you gathered about the clerics?
Pretty much nothing so far. They've not been very loose-lipped around me. I must sorta stand out.
So, you want me to be your spy?
I want you to find out information. As far as I'm concerned, you can sympathize all you want with the clerics. That doesn't change the fact that war doesn't help anybody, right? We should avoid fighting amongst ourselves until the Albs are out of the picture, right? Don't take that comment on the Albs personally.
What do you expect from me?
All that you have to do is get some answers out of somebody, and I've even got the guy lined up ready for you. His name is Lutz. He's one of Alois's technicians. As far as I know, he's trying to re-establish communications with the other clerics in Ignadon. While Alois will tell you the clerics here are neutral, separate from the ones in the Horde. Go and grill Lutz. Find out if there'll be an offensive soon. Do that, then come back to me as soon as you have any useful information.
I'm not sure we should get involved. This isn't our fight.
I won't work against the clerics.
Against is such an ugly word. Let's just say you're working for filling your pockets with shards. That sounds much better.
I'm thinking about it.
Good. And while you're thinking about it, imagine what you can spend the shards on.
Why do you think that these technicians will know about the cleric's plans?
Because he's the guy that maintains all the communications equipment. He must have heard something from the comms. And he's more likely to talk than anyone further up the chain. I want to know what he's heard. I need to know what he knows.
Where can I find Lutz?
If he's not on a call, then he's usually working maintenance on one of the generators. Just walk along the battlement path up at the top. You can't be far.
I have to go.
Ugh. I got that taste in my mouth again like I bit into a...
Not now.
Город такой большой, в принципе. И такую установку построить нелегко. А изгои хотят взорвать купол. Тише, идиоты все-таки. Так, ладно, пойдем с остальными говорить. Так, что у нас тут?
I'm staying out of it.
Heard that before.
So that didn't work.
Hey, you don't have to believe everything they say. He's been bothering me with that for days now.
That has to happen sooner or later.
Nobody fucking cares.
They say that, but you know they collect ELEX for themselves.
So that didn't work.
You had better leave right now.
That is a shame. He's been bothering me
Excusez-moi.
for days now.
Finally, some peace and quiet.
As he wishes. He should do it.
If you feel that way, why don't you go back to Goliath?
No. Those days are gone. I left willingly to establish a world heart here in Abessa. But when it became clear that the seedling wouldn't grow, Caleb decided that we would remain here. And whatever Caleb says is best. But now, no. I can't go back. We went against orders from Goliath. If I go back now, they'll just stick me in a cage, no questions asked.
Fink sent me.
Did he? Well, I don't have anything to say to those Albs. This whole thing between Caleb and Fink is starting to get on my nerves. I shouldn't have said anything, okay? But what's done is done, and that's that.
Tell me your version of the story.
My version? I'm stuck between the two of them. I told Caleb in confidence that I saw Fink meet an Alb outside the city. Could have been a separatist, but I wasn't sure. I didn't see any more than that, but Caleb decided to tell the clerics. He convinced me that the Alb Fink met must have been from Zakor. But I have no real idea who he was, or what faction he's with.
About the situation with the separatists.
Do you have any idea what I should do? I feel this is a mess.
I should speak to Caleb before I give you any advice.
Do that. The less I have to do with this, the better.
Я успею помочь Фэнку, но сперва нужно услышать, что Кэлеб скажет. Так. Миська, ты моя кошатенька хорошая. Кошатенька. Так.
There have been so many patrols that got themselves in trouble recently. It's a wonder any of them are still standing.
You're new here in the city, right?
Yes, I've just arrived.
I thought so. I saw you come through the gate, you see? Anyway, I want to ask you something, if that's alright. Have you been to Edan recently? To the Berserker's city of Goliath, to be exact. A good friend of mine is still there.
If you're that interested, then why don't you go back and see him yourself?
I can't. Not overtly, anyway. I broke the law, you see. Like some of the other Berserkers here, it was either run here or go into exile for me. So, here I am. But I miss my good friend Kral. I'd hoped he'd come and join me here, but he won't leave Goliath. He thought he still had a chance to save his brother, Grimmar, from the Alb Converter. Do you know what happened to him?
Kral is dead.
No. Shit. Maybe if I'd stayed... You know, I was even planning how I could get to Goliath to see if I could get him out of there. I had this feeling something bad would happen to him. First his brother and then him. A curse on all of Edan. And thanks anyways.
Tell me about your life in Edan.
Me? I was a worker at the pit. You know, I extracted ELEX from old machines so it could be transmuted into mana. I always wanted to join the Hooded Crows and learn the art of magic, but it wasn't to be. My parents forbade me from trying. My clan told me to stop trying. Not that any of that stopped me. And that's what got me banished. I stole mana from the shrine to try and learn magic myself. And I got myself caught. They sentenced me to exile in the Valley of the Damned, but I escaped. I'd seen the Dome City when I was sent on patrol, so when I left Edan, this was the place I thought of. And here I am.
I would like to learn Berserker magic.
Well, it's pointless asking me. I didn't manage to learn anything useful before I was exiled. The Berserkers won't teach magic to outsiders, especially not a cleric. The Berserkers won't allow clerics into their ranks. They don't believe in technology or in religion.
I'll meet you again later on.
Not now. I've got stuff, so... You aren't the first to tell me that.
The Legio Custodes. Так. Где этот Калеб?
Hey, come over here. Let's get a drink together.
What are we celebrating?
Victory over the Alps. Or do you have another reason to celebrate? Because any reason works for me.
I believe.
Drink up. Drink up to the end of our days. Here, my friend, to what's coming. And now, tell me about your glorious deeds. Or have you just been sitting on your ass, letting others fight the beasts of Zekor for you?
I've done more fighting than a barfly like you.
Ha! You have to have balls to challenge me like that. Here, you've earned something to drink.
Why aren't you in a den with the other Berserkers?
Fuck the Berserkers. I don't have anything more in common with them. They would have exiled me to the valley sooner or later, so I beat them to the punch and left. Fuck them and their laws. You can have it much easier here. And if you want to earn something for nothing, try fighting one of the outlaws here in the Domed City. Those assholes always come off worse. Just ask Riley. He knows it's time for him to take another beating.
Why do you want me to fight Riley?
It's about time someone pays him a visit. Now, you're the one to do it. That lying shit is telling people I killed a family out in the Badlands. Total fucking bullshit. I killed 5 families out in the Badlands. Parading around out there, hardly a weapon between them, like they wanted to die. Those dipshits got themselves killed. And now, Riley spread it all around the dome. He's even got some of the guards believing his yabber. But if someone else were to shut him up, I'd be in the clear, and those guards would be off my back. Take care of him, and I'll make it worth your while.
Not bad. Not bad.
Так что ты за квиз получил? Я особо не понял. Побить Райли. Так.
I don't know. What have you heard? Because I haven't heard anything.
You need to learn respect for others.
What? You think I'm a child? So piss off, or I'll give you your head on a plate.
Give people some respect, and you won't need to fight.
Let me tell you something right now. I'm gonna give your whore of a mother a reason to cry. Come here.
I'm gonna keep quiet about that, no matter what they say.
Who knows what they're going to find in those ruins next?
That makes them stop playing around with that weapon.
That is pretty suspicious.
They're only saying that to keep
All right. You've made your point. So leave me alone.
It'll take more than words to get me to leave.
You stole from me. You already have everything I owned. So take what you have and get out of here.
That wasn't a good move.
Да, не надо было. Я думал просто как бы, ну, не знаю, что как-то пригрозить еще, а это и правда было нехорошо. Так.
Киска. Котейка. Маленькая котеечка.
Что? В смысле? Не понял. А чё он сдох-то? Мамулька.
There have been so many patrols that got themselves in trouble this year. I wonder if any of them are still safe.
Хоть бы он выжил, хоть бы он выжил.
All right. You've made... So leave...
You had better leave people alone from now on.
I got it.
Аська.
Yeah?
That guy was never good for anything. I don't have any time right now.
You want to cross him? You're crazy.
Those converters, the lives they've destroyed. And for
I saw you.
You saw me what?
I saw how you came through into the dome. Who are you? Why were you allowed in?
I was an alb once.
Fuck. What is this, an invasion? Can't you all just go back to Zakor? What do you have to keep coming here for? Well, you'll find more of your kind back there in the city. But you can go and do whatever it is you albs do together. But don't get used to it. None of you will be staying long. But before you go, you better tell me what you want here, Alb.
Who are you?
Caleb. I lead the Berserkers who've chosen to settle here in Abessa.
Does that mean you're exiles?
Well, none of us are allowed to return to Edan now. Or we just end up being sent to the valley. As to why they came here, Well, the first settlers were sent to Abessa to plant a world heart to expand the forest of Edan out here. But they were cut off from Edan by the Albs, left on their own to survive. And after a while, they decided to keep it that way. The warlords in Goliath weren't happy. But they're stretched too thin for another conflict, so here we are. And since they settled here, others have joined us. Some are escaped exiles, others just chose to leave Edan.
What do you have against the Separatists?
We came here for peace, to escape the war. How long will that last if more Albs keep coming here? Zakor has left us alone recently. You think they will if they know all their escapees are coming here? Edan? Ignadon? Fuck it, even Tavar. At some point, if they learn that Albs are sheltering here, then they might attack us even if Zakor doesn't. And you can tell me whatever you want about us having the same goals, or the same enemy. But you really expect me to believe you Albs are going to choose us over other Albs? I don't care that people vote to let you in. If it was up to me, we would be better off if you lot were thrown out of the city.
You want to have all the Separatists thrown out of the city?
Yeah. And you know what? I have already started to make it happen. It's easy to find ways to show you people have broken the rules of our agreement. But hey, I have a way you can avoid the same fate. You could do us a service here. You could prove your humanity. Are you prepared to do that? Do you think you're even able?
What do you want from me?
I need help with the Albs. We have an eyewitness who claims to have seen the Separatists exchanging information with the Albs. Traitorous bastards.
Who is this eyewitness?
The Berserker Jorg saw Fenk meet with an Alb in front of the city. Why would they meet if it wasn't to exchange information about the dome? Sadly, Jorg is the only one who's seen Fenk. And now he started saying he isn't sure he really saw Fenk meet an Alb from Zakor. So I have to jog Jorg's memory, or make sure he stops denying what he said. There has to be a way to do that.
You don't think that Jorg could have been wrong in the first place?
No, never. You can't trust these Separatists. They'll betray us sooner or later for sure. I'm telling you, this is just the beginning.
You need a break every once in a while if you're going to stay sane. But do you get one?
She took that secret to the grave.
А, вот оно как тут все. Так.
Oh, yeah?
About?
Do you have any idea what I should do?
Go to the clerics and tell them you made a mistake.
I can't do that. Caleb will call me a traitor. And for all I know, Caleb is right. That Alb could have been from Zakor. What if Fenk actually is an Alb spy?
I was an Alb from Zakor.
You? You don't look like an Alb.
Because I am free from ELEX. You can trust me. Not all Albs follow the orders of the Ice Palace.
I know. I've always found Fenk quite straightforward, which is rare amongst the people here. Maybe I'm judging him because everyone else here is so untrustworthy. You're right. I've done Caleb's bidding without question far too long, and where's it got me? I'll go to the clerics and speak up for Fenk. You've helped me decide. Thank you. I will go to the clerics and do the right thing. I don't want someone to be thrown out of the city because of me.
That wasn't a good move.
Почему зря? Чё, блядь? Ты чё несёшь? Слышь? Чё векнуло? Я тут помешал геноциду, а ты говоришь зря. Чё вообще несёшь, баба? Чё несёшь?
I've never trusted her.
You may remain in the city.
You managed to get Yord to admit his lie to the clerics? That is good. It seems we can trust in the cleric's justice after all. Your service should be rewarded. That is half of my daily ration. I hope it is enough to show thanks.
Хороший у него паёк, должен сказать. Дивное причем. Так.
Stop being an asshole.
Hey, have you got a few shards for a veteran? Help me out and I'll tell you about the city.
Give him the shards. He really needs them, and we could do with some information.
There, take this.
Thanks. Thank you. Oh, I won't forget this. And since you have helped me, I'll make sure my contacts hear about it. You help me, I'll help you. Come back in a few days, yeah? I'll have something that might interest you.
Tell me about the city.
Right, well, where to start? First off, a lot of people are avoiding the north of the city. This place always has something going on, but right now, there's really something brewing. That means the north isn't exactly welcoming unless you're a thug. The western section's safer. You're okay there as long as you don't break the law or look funny or say something the clerics don't like. The southern part, well, that is really quiet. Nothing really happens there, but wherever you are, you should know the clerics are watching. Alois, he runs this place and he hates thieves and beggars and trouble causers and pretty much anyone. He thinks he's God's messenger or something, and that means he's got one big old stick up his ass. So don't piss him off. If you ignore anything else, don't ignore that advice. Don't piss off the clerics. There now, you are fully informed.
You did well.
Ой, былых времен.
One shard, 2 shards. You'd think...
Why don't we have a dome like this in the Hort?
The dome requires immense amounts of energy, and the fluctuations in it have to be constantly balanced. The technology is complex. That means there's no way to cover the Hort with a shield like this. Besides, the cliffs around Hort give it a natural protection.
Can this dome survive an Albatech?
Of course. Why do you think we built it? As long as we can maintain a constant energy flow, then they can't get in. Unfortunately, achieving that isn't so easy. Some of the energy regulators are starting...
I can repair the energy regulators for you.
Thanks for the offer, but that's not necessary. I've already repaired the components. They just haven't all been installed yet.
I have a forged ID for you.
Are you trying to get me angry? Let me guess. Gregor, the dome guard, sent you. I told him 1,000 times I'm not responsible for these things. Alois is the city's supervisor. You should report such matters to him. Go on, go and play Gregor's messenger boy.
I will take the ID to Alois.
Ah, no, it's all right, it's all right. Just give it here. I'll take care of it. Shit, I'm sorry I bit your head off. It's just... I've got enough to deal with.
Не могу я так. Как-то это не по-людски. Пускай меня эти изгои меня все-таки выручили. Благодаря им страж хоть и спалил меня, но продал пропуск все равно. Хотя, не знаю. Или все-таки, блин, даже не знаю. Нет. Раз уж я клирик. Так.
It's good to see you.
I have a forged ID.
Let me...
I will...
Ah, no, it's all right, it's all right. Just give it here. I'll take care of it. Shit, I'm sorry I bit your head off. It's just... I've got enough to deal with without getting bogged down in the petty stuff. But Gregor keeps sending me every task he comes across. If there's trouble with the generators or the dome, then I'm your man. I have enough to deal with without counterfeit passes or toilet breaks for guards or shortages of hinges in the West Quarter. Still, that's not your problem. Thank you for bringing me the pass. Please, take your reward for honorable service to the dome. I'll check to see who this ID was customized for. Then a suggester can take care of the rest. Deceit like this can only lead us to uncovering a greater lie.
Can this dome survive an Albatech?
Of course. Why do you think we built it? As long as we can maintain a constant energy flow, then they can't... Some of the energy...
I can repair the energy...
I've already...
About the broken energy regulators. What will happen if they aren't repaired?
If just one regulator fails, it could mean an emergency shutdown for the dome. Otherwise, the discharge it would create could kill a whole lot of the people the shield is supposed to be protecting. But whether it's a discharge or an emergency shutdown, both scenarios would see us defenseless.
How many energy regulators are broken?
Well, all of them. I've sorted replacements where I can. But Lutz hasn't received his yet.
I will help you with the energy regulators.
I'd wanted to do it myself, but do you really think you could handle it? But I wouldn't have expected anything else from a cleric. I have the energy regulator here. Please, take it to Lutz and help him to install it. Come back to me when you're done.
Мурка. Ты ведь Мурка, да? Мурка. Мурочка. Так. Ты хорошая кошечка, да? Кис-кис-кис-кис. Так.
Cooper, outlaw. You fled here from Tavar, is that you?
Yeah, what do you want?
You know what this is.
fuck?
You're lucky you're getting a chance. You will leave the city. Be grateful you're being allowed to live. You will go to your camp and be happy to stay there.
I must leave. I will be grateful. I will be happy to stay in my camp.
Thoughts of who we truly are.
А потом поговорю с ним. Так. Сначала с Луцем.
Uh-huh.
I've never trusted her.
They say that, but you know they collect ELEX for themselves.
Why even waste time thinking about it?
Do you believe that? Really believe it?
Trolls, mantises, raptors. It's crazy to travel out there.
Где этот Луц?
Not again.
The mechs that went into Abessa. Pretty much killed that whole party.
Tell me your story. How did you end up joining the clerics?
Right, I'll give you the full version. Well, the short version of the full version.
Just get on with it.
Okay, I'll try to keep it short. So, I grew up in Goliath in Adan. My father and mother were both born berserkers, and so that meant I was too. Back then, Bajar ruled over Goliath. As a child, I had no interest in the laws, of course. But when I was about 12 years old, one of the warlords came to our home. He took my parents, and I was left on my own to survive in the city. I remember him. I remember my parents leaving. And I remember me screaming. But everything else is gone. It's just a blur.
What happened to your parents?
Well, what else? They were exiled. Nobody ever told me why they were exiled. I still don't know what they did, even today. I hate the Berserker laws. Nothing against the Berserkers. They're just people. It's the laws I hate. I think what the Berserkers want to do with Magalan is right. But I can never forgive them for what they did to my parents. Why was I punished for whatever my parents did? Why wasn't I told what had happened? I swore never to return, and I haven't set foot in Adan again.
Where did you go?
Wherever I needed to survive. That meant running from reavers and wild animals. It didn't take long for some reavers to take me captive. And then, I don't want to talk about that. I was lucky, though. After several years, the reavers were attacked by some of the Duke's outlaws, and they took me back to Tavar. I learned how to fight, how to live off scrap. Life wasn't much different from Edan, but there wasn't the same raptor shit. The laws. You could be who you were, and no one judged you.
And why didn't you remain with the outlaws?
Because the reavers who'd taken me captive came to the fort and wanted to speak to the Duke. I think they wanted to take me back. I fled when they saw me. I didn't want to be taken back, or for them to kill me to hide their crime. When I left the fort, I ran into a cleric patrol. They convinced me to go to the Hort with them. Not that I really needed that much convincing. All those hours taking scrap apart and putting it back together in Tavar really paid off there. The clerics recognized that I was good with technology. So, I've been working on mechs and AI systems since then. Building things. Trusted. Part of a team. And it's easier being with mechs. They don't judge anyone. They treat everyone the same. Like this place. I know it's not perfect. But outlaws, berserkers, clerics, even elves are seen as people. At least that's the vision. Not always the way it happens.
That's another reason to maintain these mechs. To protect what we have here. Well, I hope you find your place in the world. It's good when you do.
You know, you're the first one to understand that.
What are you doing here in Abessa?
I take care of the mechs and drones here in the city, which means I coordinate and plan their maintenance and upgrades. And when I'm lucky, I get to roll up my sleeves and do some of the actual maintenance. Which I'm having to do quite a lot, with all the technicians we're missing. Say, are you good with technology?
Где пульт? А вот он.
I know enough to work on mechs.
You do? Maybe we could take you on in a permanent position here in the city.
Do you think they would employ me?
That's true. Alois has security concerns about taking anyone who's not been in the city long enough. So, yeah, maybe I should look for someone else. On the other hand, if you're looking for some part-time work, I could still use your help. I have 4 people I've been told I should look at for taking the technician's job, but I don't have time to gauge their abilities. Would that be something you could do for me? I'd pay you.
Yeah, I'll talk to your candidates.
Great. The 4 names I have are Daryl, Naira, Rorik, and Riley. Though I'm really not sure about Riley. There's something about him I don't trust. But speak to each of them and let me know whether you think they might have the right skills and abilities for the job. Oh, and I'll need you to let me know about their loyalties. You know, can they work with clerics? Do they hate us? We'd be trusting them with the mechs and AI that defend the Dome City. So I don't want to employ anyone who might still be thinking about their faction, not our security.
Ладно, конечно, придется крест вырубать.
What an ass. You should have known that.
You don't feed the belly, the rest of the body will die.
How do we move on from here?
Так, стоямбочка, стоямба.
Yeah, save it until later.
Thoughts are who we truly...
Jorg, what can I do for you?
I'm here to do the right thing.
You want to do the right thing? Wait, aren't you the one who saw the Separatist meeting with the Albs?
Yes. Yes, that was me.
And your reason for being here is... and why isn't Caleb here? There is a chain of command for a reason.
Caleb is not our leader. He just settles most things. But there's also... I'm here to admit that I lied for him.
You did what?
I lied. You see, I didn't see Fenk and the other Separatists meet Albs from Zakor. I saw Fenk meet with another Separatist. I don't want the Separatists to be thrown out of the city because of me.
You have been brave to admit your lie. And you've done it before it had major consequences. But this deceit can't go unpunished. I will speak to you after I've spoken to Fenk. I'll send for you, Jorg, when I've thought about this further.
How long have you been in charge of the Dome City?
I've been in office for 8 years now, and it hasn't been easy. Maintaining a neutral position to the factions while fighting the Albs. By Kalan, there really are more pleasant posts they could have appointed me to.
What if someone wanted to replace you?
Some have tried. Yet I am still here. This city was created by the Great Council of Magalan. They made the clerics custodians of this place and their legacy. The Great Council may be long gone, but what they stood for, a unity of purpose, a future for all of Magalan together, that is something we still believe in here. So, it is our job to remain neutral. It is our job to serve all, no matter their background, however hard our residents make it for us.
Listen, the council is gone. Why care about what they said?
You don't think that was a better time? Laws for prisoner exchange that assured borders, set rules for trade. Even if you don't care about the blood spilled since the council's rule was broken, the clerics swore to a code, and that includes keeping our oaths. And an oath was sworn to the council by my forefathers. That makes it my duty to see that oath is kept.
How are things here in the Dome City?
Tense. The battles out there are always reflected in here. Tensions run high if the outlaws attack the clerics, or the clerics attack the berserkers. And there's always the fear of an alb invasion. Those tensions drive greed, anger, and fear. There is war out there, and here your shards will be stolen from your hand if you aren't careful. It's like the world has gone crazy.
Isn't that typical behavior for people?
For those without faith, those without rules or purpose, people lack perfection. That is reserved for our God. Only when we emulate him do we stand a chance of understanding what true harmony looks like. But I digress. Maybe it would help you if I tell you how things are. The berserkers have lived more and more reclusively ever since the pilgrim went into his retreat. The outlaws are more organized now the Duke has taken power, and the Alb separatists seek shelter with us to escape the powers in Zakor. All told, very dark signs that we face another global catastrophe. And here we are, in the middle.
Is there something I can help you with?
We all need help at times. You must have noticed that the mood is very heated here. One more issue, one wobble, and everything we've held together here will fall to pieces. One of my people has reported that the outlaws are expecting a weapons delivery. The last thing that this city needs is more weapons. And who knows who the outlaws will sell them to. I want you to intercept this delivery and bring it to me.
Are you having a lot of trouble here in the city?
Keeping the factions together is always an issue. The outlaws are always up to something, but things have gotten worse, and to cap it all, we've had a sharp rise in thefts. I believe an organized group has started operating here. Not the usual outlaws. This group seems to be outside the factions. From the little I've heard, they're more like a secret society than your regular set of theft mongers. I've offered a large bounty for any information that leads to their capture. And capture would be best. I want to find out who their connections are. If you can find out more about this secret society, I can make you rich.
About the outlaws' weapons delivery. You've been using informers to try and catch them?
Of course. Information is key to keeping the peace. But there are always things you miss. And missing things leads to nasty surprises. And I'd rather be the one dealing those out than receiving them. Particularly when it comes to outlaws. Are you going to show me that you are the exception?
I'll take care of that problem for you.
Good. Very well then. Your target is a woman. Her name is Paige. Get her talking and hope that she brings you in on her plan. Take these shards. You may need them to buy yourself some trust. You'll have to find Paige yourself. She's a slippery customer, and we've lost track of her.
Contact? Is there something I should know about her?
Apart from the fact that she's one of the outlaws, no. As soon as you get those weapons, or any information, just make sure you bring them to me.
А, я вообще такие генераторы, я должен сказать.
Not now. Official business only.
Just a moment, I have to concentrate. 43 degrees eastwards at a distance of 5 kilometers. Maybe I could adjust the receiver's sensitivity to... No. Although,
Should I come back later?
No. I've already lost my train of thought. I would have hoped a cleric would have had more consideration. But, crap. I don't suppose you can remember what I said. How many degrees was it?
43 degrees eastwards.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. Thank you for reminding me.
I assume you are in charge of communications?
You aren't just a good listener, you're good at observation, too. Yes, I am responsible for communications, though the condition of this equipment is wretched. It would be easier to stay in contact with 2 tin cans and a piece of string. I can't keep track of how often we have power outages or equipment failures these days. But I have really given you enough of my time now. I do have to work out a solution to this issue. If you feel the need to talk to someone, go and try Vito. Innkeepers are known for their chatter.
That was great.
If ELEX does this to animals, can you imagine what it will do to you?
Yeah, I'm trying to...
Look after your DNA. Stay safe from mutations. Stay away from ELEX. This is me, Herbert, broadcasting from the orbit to bring a warning to all free people out there. Stay safe in the wilderness.
Сейчас очки протру.
Welcome to our audio tour. You will find audio devices located throughout this museum that will provide you with the history of this magnificent historic building. Visitors are asked to leave these audio devices where they are found so that other visitors may enjoy them. We in the museum team thank you and hope you enjoy your visit today.
Berserkers talk of nature, but their magic relies on ELEX. And we know that ELEX twists the body and tears the soul. Knowledge and technology are gifts that offer us salvation. We can build our future with our own hands.
This is me, Herbert, speaking the truth. Bringing a warning to all free people out there. Stay safe in the wilderness.
Какие-то тут фиг его знает. Як.
We need to sort things out with those traders and get more supplies in.
What do we have here? Fresh meat? What did you call us? Don't worry, I am not looking at you. How did you get the guard to let you into the dome? Preferential treatment, I bet, seeing as you're a cleric. However you got in, you're going to find it even harder to get out. The clerics are a little jumpy at the moment. You might say paranoid. So, when they do let someone in, it does make me wonder who they are and why the clerics thought letting them in was a good idea.
If it's so hard to get in, what are you doing here?
I got in before things got so paranoid. And I came here for profit, of course. Lots of nervous people close to the Alps tend to be willing to invest shards in their safety, you see. And getting hold of supplies is hard out here. So, if you can get them, you can sell them for a high price. Well, that was the plan. Now, the clerics have stopped me trading and cut off all the supplies.
And you just let them do that?
Of course I didn't let them. But getting around their ban isn't simple. It's impossible to get by the guards without an ID card. And they took mine from me as part of their crackdown. Now they say I'm causing trouble. But what else is a businesswoman supposed to do when she has her business taken from her?
About your trade ban.
Yeah, don't tell me. Trading weapons can pose a danger to the community. But this is about self-defense. The only person who can stop a person with a gun is a person with an even bigger gun. Am I right? I mean, what? Are we supposed to throw rocks at the Albs when they attack? But the clerics want to keep all the guns for themselves and screw the rest of us. They call it neutrality, but I say it's oppression.
Sounds like you could use some help.
Yes. Yes, I could. Still, let's say he's right. And that I could get a hold of supplies. Not from Tavar, obviously. They've blocked that route. Let's say I could get some weapons from these separatists, for example. Let's say they have weapons and need shards. And that they also have the business acumen of a stunned troll, so they need a salesperson. Me, for example. What if I was to say that? And what if I was to say that I have to find someone who could enter and leave this city freely? If I was to say that, then what would you say?
I'd say you're walking a dangerous line.
Spoken like a true cleric. Can't you see I'm a victim here? This city is supposed to be neutral, not an enclave of the Horde. So, where's the neutrality if only one side has guns? So if you blab, what have I lost? Nothing. And without any guns to show, it's just your word against mine, and even Alois isn't going to see that as justice.
I could help you get your weapons.
You? A cleric? Well, need makes strange bedfellows, but you'll have to show me that I can trust you. How about you give me a down payment? A sort of security deposit, and I'll go with that. Don't worry. You'll get enough back as payment if you complete the deal to offset your deposit. How does that sound?
You can trust me.
Pay me, and I will.
You don't need a payment. You will just trust me.
Right. Trust you. Sure. Now that I think about it, you do look trustworthy. So, this is what you need to do. Leave the city and find a separatist called Radok. I think he's a separatist. But whatever he is, he's a mad fucker. I can't make sense of most of what he says. But he has the weapons, and he likes trade. I think he likes trade. It's hard to tell. He wants to sell the weapons, but you'll have to work on him, okay? He won't just hand them over.
Where can I find Radok?
Up in the Highlands. When we last spoke, he told me he was going to head over to the northeast. He mentioned an abandoned wind turbine. With luck, he'll still be out there.
Hey, you. I heard you speaking to Eric. He gave you an energy regulator for the dome, right? Give it to me, will you? Very soon now, you're going to need the right sort of friend, and giving that to me will earn you that.
Why do you want the regulator?
Haven't you noticed the tension here? All the anger and the plotting? It scares the hell out of me. So I want a way out of here if things go wrong. A sort of backdoor. I want to modify the regulator so I can drop a section of the dome and get out if things go bad. Let me modify it. Then I'll give it back to you so you can get it to where it needs to be. You've got to see why I'd want a way out, yeah? So do we have a deal?
I'm a cleric. I won't betray the Dome City.
You clerics all have stakes up your asses. You think your clan wouldn't understand me wanting to stay alive? You really don't have to worry about getting out of here. Just take your time. Enjoy your days while you still can.
Did you flee here from the desert?
Flee? No. But to live in Tavar, you need shards. And despite my talents, I wasn't one of the Duke's favorites, and that made making a profit hard.
You think it's better here?
Yes, for sure. For me, at least. And those berserkers are the worst for it. One of those assholes killed my friend for fun. Now that bastard is focused on me and nobody's helping me. Even though they know it'll be their turn next, and keeping their head down won't save them.
This berserker, is it Brabak?
Yes. That is exactly the asshole I'm talking about. He murdered.
About Brabak. I fought him. I beat him.
Oh, good for you. He keeps coming back for me. If he doesn't kill me, I'll starve to death, as I can't do any business. Please, can you help me? Someone has to.
Let's trade.
Okay.
Топорик. Так, электронный хлам. Пригодится. Ложка, кошечка, кошатинка. Кошатинка.
The mechs that went into Abessa pretty much killed that whole party.
I'll see you later.
Hey, who's out there?
Move your hands where I can see them.
Где это
Keep your hands off my machines. I don't care if you are a fellow cleric, unless... How are you when it comes to engineering? Do you have any experience? I'm trying to work out whether to use a single-phase or triple-phase generator for the energy supply system.
A three-phase. I assume you want to free up a few surge capacitors in the system. If that's the case, a three-phase generator would provide you with constant power.
Yeah, that's right. Ha, nice to meet someone who understands this kind of thing. Thanks for the help.
I heard you are having trouble establishing communications with the Horde in Igniton.
That is just... Wait. How do you know that? That's confidential.
One of the outlaws told me.
The outlaws? The last thing we need is for them to know about our problems. Do you think it's just one outlaw that knows, or do they all know?
I have no idea.
That is a worry, a real worry. Well, we can't waste any more time. We need to fix that comms relay station before anyone tries to take advantage of our problems. Since you're in the know, can you help me?
You can count on me.
Good, thank you. If you don't help us, we could lose everything we have here. And if things fall apart out there, you can be certain that it will get bloody for everyone.
Eric sent me.
Thank Kalan. Do you have the energy regulator?
Yes. Here.
Perfect. That looks great. Thanks. Thanks for getting that. I'll install it immediately. You better get back to Eric. You can tell him I'm putting it in right now.
What's so important about fixing your communications right now?
We're awaiting the delivery of some combat mechs. But they haven't arrived, and we've no way to check why without communications being re-established. That's why we've got to get the link back up now, so we can find out what's going on.
What do you need combat mechs for?
I don't know. I guess they're worried about security. And supplies. We need firepower to get enough food and tech spares into the dome to keep things going. And that's before the Alps. Zakor might have left us alone recently, but who knows how long that'll last. But it's not just about mechs. It's about food and news and everything else. We need a link with the Hort to keep this place going. We need to get this fixed as soon as possible. And please, please, keep this problem confidential. Otherwise, we are very likely to face even greater challenges. Here are the coordinates of the relay station that's gone down. It's over to the northeast of the city. Head that way and keep looking out for an antenna on the horizon. But I have no idea what the issue is there. You might be able to fix it at the bottom, but there's a chance you might have to climb the antenna mast. There will be a device somewhere on site that you can use to recalibrate the antenna. I hope that'll be enough to fix the problem.
You don't feed the belly, the rest of the body will die.
Stop being an asshole.
Well, that was a serious waste of time, wasn't it?
Как не скопали командора.
They're always hitting on you here.
No. I won't accept that.
From now on, keep your hands off the outlaws.
And if I don't?
Then you'd better find a bodyguard before I come back for you.
All right. Fuck it. You get your wish.
Smart decision.
Get out.
Господи. Тут я не нуждаюсь в опыте. Клириков я продавать не хочу.